Welcome back, Guardians. My name is Samlab. And well, where do I even begin? The developer livestream ended yesterday and I'm still reeling from everything we've learned so far. What did we just see? Firstly, though, can we just congratulate the entire Bungie team for the immense amount of work that has gone into doing this seriously, both Onslaught and Final Shape. I think it shows what Bungie as a studio have always been capable of, and I love it. I think I saw a tweet or a comment on a YouTube video that somebody said, I love it when Bungie is backed into a corner and they have to start cooking. I think there's no better quote that I can come up with to summarize what we've experienced. But I digress. Seriously though, this is some great work. Whatever side of the light spectrum you sit on, this is quite simply phenomenal work from both past and present Bungie employees. And I want to honour the devs for a moment for their commitment because wow. Man alive, this was just wow. Yeah, I'm mostly speechless. First things first, spoiler warning. If you don't want anything ruined for you on the content of the Final Shape or what we can expect, then take this as your warning because everything beyond this moment falls within spoiler, speculative territory. We had a surprise visit from Luke Smith at the start of yesterday's live stream confirming what I'd hoped would be the case. The Final Shape isn't the end. It's just the beginning, with more information coming soon on what we can expect for the story of Destiny after the Final Shape and beyond. So I want to expand on those thoughts for just a minute, and I will go into more details on this with the dawn of Prismatic, which is the new subclass that's coming to Destiny. And I have a little bit to add to that once we get through with these first initial thoughts. Everything's about to change. You've probably heard My Name is Bife discuss this already. We have gone beyond the heliopause, figuratively speaking. I'm sure we're about to go beyond the heliopause. But just for a minute, I want us to soak in what we've just seen. Not only is it gameplay mechanic wise and technically out of this world, but narratively and story wise, this is way beyond probably what some of my expectations were. What I love about this most is that the narrative team and the art team had been signposting that this would happen. The biggest clue we got was literally the Root of Nightmares raid featuring Nezarec as the final boss. But that entire environment was a combination of light and dark. In fact, for the first time ever, we saw what it would look like if the light was mixed with the dark. And we saw that with the way that the light or the power of the Gardener invaded the space that was the pyramid ship and what that did. And so we had lots of spectrums of light throughout this raid. In physical manifestation, we got to see what that would look like. What would it look like if light and dark mixed together? And I love that there was like this interplay. The lore team, the narrative team, and then the art team, and them asking this question, and then it's almost like a dance that depicts what we're about to go into. So the second major thing about this, right, and what's coming in the Final Shape is Prismatic. A new subclass coming to Destiny. It enables Guardians to wield both light and darkness abilities, but at the same time. Once the Prismatic meter is filled up based on a damage type, so either light damage type, which would be Solar and Arc and Void, or Dark, which would be Stasis and Strand. This pushes beyond anything we've seen within Destiny's current power paradigm ever. This is massive for multiple reasons, in that Prismatic is what you would need to call the next evolutionary step in Guardians and the struggle between light and darkness on a whole. A quick thought, I imagine that the winnower won't be pleased by this idea. However, from a narrative perspective, Guardians are quite literally becoming the final shape, masters of both forgiveness and memory. This has been referred to in the past Destiny conversations as a moral grey, grey being the mixture of spectral colours of white and black. This is fascinating, because from a developmental point of view, and I'm chomping at the bit here, I can't wait to find out what happens with the lore within Final Shape and how this is going to tie in and move us forward. Alright, so let's talk class items. In the Final Shape, Guardians will be able to wield special class exotics that allow each of us to take exotic perks from either your own exotics or from other classes' exotics. So picture this. Take a Warlock Sunbreaker's exotic perks and mix them with, feedback of the ACD0 feedback fence. Not only does this push the boundaries of what's possible in Destiny, but it's an entirely different level of customization we've never had before. I can't wait to test it out, and I know that you guys can't either. So since the first days of Destiny, everyone has speculated on the idea of a pure darkness base race. And it looks like with the Final Shape we're getting a good look at what that might be. Meet the Dread, a witness-based faction, made up of Tormentors, Subjugators, Weavers, Attendants, Grim and Husk. Each is an embodiment of the Witness. Now, we've all seen what the Tormentors were like on Neomuna, but these Hearts of the Traveller variants are on a completely different level. Along with their counterparts the Grim, which are an aerial-based enemy, able to suppress and slow Guardians using their Screech ability. Husks are melee bruisers that wield dangerous blades and an acrobatic nature. Facing one on your own is doable, but entire groups of these things can be quite potent. To make matters worse, upon death they release a Geist, which seeks out victims and detonates upon impact. The Weaver and the Attendant are subjugated scions, reshaped by the Witness. Using both Stasis and Strand, the Attendant freezes Guardians, while Weavers launch Strand ground-based attacks, ping-ponging Guardians across the battlefield. The Witness has done the unthinkable, and taken darkness into the heart of the Traveller. Lore-wise, this is thematically rather heretical thing to do. The Unveiling Lorebook already illustrates portions of story from the Winnower's perspective, which already suggests that both the Gardener and the Winnower's abilities work in subversion of each other. But this hasn't been seen or heard of in all Destiny's history. An element of this I find especially fascinating is that much of what is written in the Unveiling lore is seemingly coming to pass in one way or another. The lore, whether allegorical or not, and I have a video about this coming real soon, is that there is more to it than what's written. There are words which have emerged from these lore entries that Guardians are either seeing play out before them or appearing in seasonal titles or future lore. Such words like Precursor, Nihilists, Veil, and so on. You'll recognise some of these words or names from the Entelechy lorebook that arrived with the Final Shape Collector's Edition. So what does this all mean exactly? Finally, now we are getting to see that anything is possible. The notion of Prismatic reopens the book on many chapters we thought closed originally. For example, Emperor Callias was right in how he dreamt of light being used on other spectrums. So much so that he had devoted his entire existence to wanting power beyond that of light and darkness. The Drifter, he already walks a similar pathway. Once a Dark Guardian, he was able to retrofit his ghost to tap into other spectrums of light, and Emperor Callias confirmed this while analysing the Drifter on a spectrum level. Although not all the siblings would have recognised this, the Hive have also walked similar paths in their devotion to the final logic. Unknowingly to many, Savathun and her brother Oryx regularly discussed the pantheon of the universe. In their pursuit to usurp the worm gods, They regularly talked in secret, sharing plans with one another of how to attain more power to work for their plan, whatever those plans are. The Awoken's existence is also built on the harnessing of light and dark, communed together, a grey guardian, if you will. I believe this is something that Queen Mara Sov would find fascinating, with all she knows about the light and darkness in Destiny. The Vex are all continually looking for a way to breach their non-paracausal nature, and Unveiling Law has stated they are now part of the game and must adapt to survive, to test themselves and become the final shape. Yet not all belong to the darkness. The Nine will be pleased by the results of what's happened. This is what Gambit was all about, to help Guardians continue to test and test and test, through combination of light and dark through ritual activities. I believe that this is what the emissary meant when she said to the Drifter, "Keep playing the game." To me, this implies that they already understand the principles of which Destiny's universe is based, and potentially, although probably for us, the Nine understand that the Witness isn't the worst of what we should be worrying about, but something far greater and far more primordial than everything we've understood thus far. Whatever the case is, there will never be another moment like this in Destiny. Everything is changing, and it won't ever be the same. How we go from Final Shape into the future of Destiny is going to be a big moment to remember. Wielding both darkness and light is something I have personally dreamt of for quite a while, and I know many of you have as well. I've said this once, and I'll say it again. This is just the beginning of Destiny. That's all I have for you today. So, like everyone else, I'm going to look at Destiny and just enjoy experiencing the world a little bit, especially Onslaught, while I simultaneously work on additional 3 lore videos. If you did enjoy this video, and are looking forward to the end of the saga of the Final Shape, then feel free to leave a like or comment letting me know. Subscribe and click the bell to find out when my next lore video goes live. Remember that no matter what you're facing at this moment in time, you can do all things. Stay safe and Godspeed.